So then this is where we talk about federal income taxes. So whenever you get a paycheck, the federal government takes income taxes away from you. So this chart, I'm sure you've seen before when we did our career project, but it has three different categories. So you have for single individuals filing, for married individuals filing, and then for heads of household. So you might not be single, but you might not be married, and you might have to take care of people. So if you're taking care of kids or elderly people and you're considered the head of the household, so you're not by yourself, you're in this category. So if you can see here, again, if you make a certain amount, that's your tax bracket. So let's say I made $80,000. $80,000 as a single person. I don't meet the 85,000. That's too high, right? So I still meet this bracket right here. So that means that my tax rate is 22%. So if I'm at 22%, to find out how much the federal government is going to take away from me over the year, I multiply my 80,000 by 22%, which is 0.22. So I know 2 times 0 is 0, and then 2 times 8 is 16. And then this 2 is really a 20, so I'm going to put a 0. And then I end up getting the same thing here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, and then 16. Then I add these, and I get 0, 0, 0, 0, 6, 7, 1. And I had 2 decimals in my question. So the government is going to take $17,600 away from me. So because they're taking it away, what operation do you think we would have to do next? Again, we're talking about multi-step problems here. So first we had to multiply. Now we're going to take that money away. So we're going to subtract it. So we have, I'm going to put this right here, $80,000, and we're going to subtract 17,600. So, and again, they subtract it over the year, so they don't take it away all at once. So you have 0 minus 0, which is 0, 0, 0 minus 6, that will result in a negative number. So we want to do a regrouping. So we're going to make this 80,000 into 70,000 and move 10 1,000s, which is 10,000. So 70,000 and 10 1,000s are 80,000. So then we're going to move 1,000 from here and move it here. So then we have 10 minus 6, which is 4, 9 minus 7, which is 2, and 7 minus 1, which is 6. So even though on paper it says we're making $80,000, because of our federal taxes, we only get $62,400. But sadly, we still have other taxes to take into account. So this chart is a little confusing, so this chart shows us the top state income tax rates. So income taxes are based on 2 different things: where you live in the state and how much money you make. So these are just averages. So if you can see in Maryland, the average state income tax is 6.25%, but that will change depending on where you live. So let's take a deeper dive. So again, it's based on 2 things: where you live and how much money you make. So if we can see here, like let's say we still made the $80,000. And after federal taxes were taken away, we only made $62,400. So if we see here based on this chart, so if we make $80,000, we would fit in this bracket right here, which is a 4.75%. 4.75%. But then we have to take into account where we live. So let's say we lived in PG County. Prince George's County right here is 0.032, which means we're at 3.2%. So our total, which means we're going to add for our state income taxes, is 5 plus 0, 7 plus 2, 4 plus 3, 7.95%. Again, if you remember from the chart in the previous slide, the average for Maryland was 6.25. So again, if you're making $80,000 and living in PG, you're paying a little more than the average person in Maryland. You're paying 7.95% of your $80,000. So let's try to figure that out and see how much we'll end up taking home now. So again, we multiply 7.95%. And again, as a decimal, you write that as 0.0795. And we multiply it by 80,000. So I have 5 times 0, and all these zeros will just end up being 0. So then I have 5 times 8, which is 40. Then I have this 9, which is really a 90, and then I have my 4 zeros. And then 9 times 8, which is 72. Then I have this, which is a 700. So then I have to put 2 zeros as a placeholder, and then these 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 7 times 8, which is 56. So if we add these, again, 0 times anything is 0, so we don't have to do that part. So if we add these up, we get 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 6, 13, and 6. So I know that I have 4 decimal numbers in my question, so there have to be 4 in my answer. So that means that we're getting charged $6,360 for our state income taxes. So again, we're getting charged that. That means that we have to take it away from our 80,000. But again, we're not making 80,000, right? Because the federal government already took money away. So we're going to subtract it from our $62,400. So we have 0 minus 0, which is 0. 0 minus 6 would result in a negative number. So this 400, I'm going to make it 300 and make this 100. So 300 and 100 make 400. 10 minus 6, which is 4. 3 minus 3, which is 0. And then 62 minus 6, which results in 56. So if you see here, we started with a salary offering of $80,000. But after federal and state taxes, we only take home $56,040, which is a pretty big difference. So these are things you have to take into account when you're thinking about housing or cars or education or taking care of people or just any expenses that you're going to incur. You're not going to end up getting the $80,000. You'll get less because of taxes.